I told you so. I'm a kid in the candy store with the leather on the denim. I ain't the cure, I'm the venom. If you wanna find me, find the taillight. Something's coming in, you're gonna wanna take a red eye. It's time to go. It's time to go. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready.
Good afternoon to all of you. Kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong walang sawang pagtangkilik ng programang ito na nagdudulot lamang ng katotohanan sa pagitan ng mga kadilimang na-experience natin sa ating buhay ngayon, lalo na sa ilalim ng politika dito sa Pilipinas. Ang ating pong topic today, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on which part of the world you are. Ang topic po natin ngayon ay anatomy of fraudulent news. Anatomy of fake news. And today we will highlight the American monster media at work na nagdudulot po ng matinding kadiliman sa political situation ngayon sa Pilipinas. Alright, pero bago po yan mga kabansa, ay nais ko pong ipresenta sa inyo ang aking 3 libro, A Problem for Every Solution noong 2015, No Vaccine for a Virus Called Racism noong 2020, at itong Poverty of Power ngayong 2022. Ito po ang magpapakita lamang ng histology ng mga pananaw ng inyong lingkod over the years, recent years that have passed. Should you want to subscribe to this, just dial 0917-336-4366. Uulitin ko po, 0917-336-4366. With that, punta na po tayo sa ating topic today na nagsimula actually noong September 16, mga kabansa, in a Saturday News Forum with Ariel Ayala and Ernesto Hilario, kung saan a month or so before ay igines din nila ang mga American talking heads na sina Jay Batumbakal, Renato de Castro, Richard Heydarian. Yan po mga kabansa. At ito po ang tinalakay nila sa kapulungan ito. So dito tayo magsisimula. Day 1, September 16. Let's play it.
Sa kapapasok lang po na balita, kinumpirma ngayong araw ng Armed Forces of the Philippines o AFP Western Command ang mga kaso ng malawakang coral harvesting sa Razul o Iroquois Reef na nasa loob ng exclusive economic zone ng Pilipinas. Sa isinagawang news forum, sinabi ni Westcom Commander Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos, ayon sa opisyal, wala na niyang natira sa corals ng Razul Reef. Ngunit nakikipag-ugnayan na sila sa mga eksperto upang matiyak.
Alright. Ano ba ang konteksto ng aligasyong ito? We have another video cut. Proceed.
Lifeless. This is how the Philippine Coast Guard described the maritime ecosystem that divers found during an underwater survey of both Rosal Reef and Escoda Shoal. In the video, the seabed was almost flattened and covered in what appears to be crushed corals. According to the PCG, this strongly suggests dumping or the act of disposing previously harvested corals. Surveys in Escoda Shoal also revealed visible discoloration of the seabed, which the PCG also sees as an indication of deliberate activities to modify the natural topography of the underwater terrain. Coincidentally, the PCG was able to monitor a proliferation or swarming of Chinese maritime militia vessels in the West Philippine Sea at the same time the coral destruction was discovered. From August 9 to September 11, 33 Chinese maritime militia vessels were monitored around Rosal Reef and 15 in Escoda Shoal.
Ayan po mga kabansa, kawawa namang admiral na gamit sa propaganda. At dito po sa ating poster makikita natin kung saan nagsimula ang mga balita. AFP suspects China of massive coral harvesting in the West Philippine Sea. Tingnan po ninyo yung word na suspects, no? At dito makikita natin na ang kanilang suspetsya is there was massive illegal harvesting of corals in Rosal Reef and they are raising the alarm, no? Ito po ay unang inilathala ng Philippine Star ng 1:53 ng hapon, a broadsheet owned by the Manny Paglinawan, ang isa pong pinakamalaki interest dito sa South China Sea dahil gusto po niya magbungkal ng gas and oil dyan sa Recto Reef in behalf of Forum Energy and Felix. Ito po ay ineko mid-afternoon at 4:19 p.m. ng Sang American Liberal Television News CNN at ng Lopez Network ABS-CBN nag-release about 30 minutes thereafter. Pabago-bago lamang ang version, pare-pareho naman ang sinasabi, pero ang ating kino-quote dito ngayon ay Rappler, which is a private website owned by the Umidya Network and funded by the U.S. government-created National Endowment for Democracy and Soros Open Society Foundation. Na ito pong version nila, nilabas nila ng 7/24. Bakit ko po sinasabing ito ay propaganda? Because ang report po is not based on fact, but on a mere admitted conjecture of a military officer. Ang suspetsa ko dito, pinabasa lang sa kanya ito. No? Whose incredibility is our only basis here. Bakit incredibility imbis na credible? We are only relying on his word and his being a distinguished member, kuno, of the military. Admiral Carlos has not presented any confirmed evidence of presence of coral before they left the scene. It was only after they returned that they made a survey finding out the corals were gone. Ito po ang kanilang statement mismo ni Admiral Carlos. When they left, we sent our divers. Nakaalis na po yung mga Chinese vessels, 33 of them, to do underwater survey. Nakita namin na wala na mga corals. The corals were destroyed and then there were debris. Pero, may kabyat ka agad. Pasabog ng napakalaki, pero kumambyo naman pabalik. The Westcom chief said that they were not definitely asserting that the Chinese vessels were harvesting corals. Ano ba to? Magre-release kayo ng report na ganyan, tapos babawiin nyo. Ano ba yan? Ano ba yan? Bayong? Bayong pera o bayong ba pinag-uusapan dito? That there were indications that strongly suggest the recurrence of such activities. Alam po ninyo, the Admiral may have even admitted na kasalanan ng troop withdrawal niya. That was at fault here, Ito po ang sinasabi niya. There was considerable amount of time na wala ng swarming doon. That there was no more swarming because of our presence there. Matagal yata nag-standby dyan, nag-patrol sila. In other words, pumasok yung mga nag-swarm because wala na sila ron. At ito ang kaduda-duda. Kaya tinatanong ko mamaya kung ano ba talaga issue dito. We'd like to maintain 100%, 365 days a year. Ito po, Navy po ito eh. But because of the weather, limited resources, our troops have to go back to port to refuel, to take some rest. Sino may kasalanan dito? Umalis kayo sa pwesto nyo. Kung hindi kayo, sino? Gobyerno. So ano ba talaga ang problema dito? Coral harvesting? Swarming? Pwede rin kasing sabi nyo weather. At since this is a budget hearing, lack of funds or resources. Nagfa-fundraising kayo. That would have been a normal hearing, no? But on day 2, medyo nagisintonado ang tunog ng balitang ito. Dahil dito sa statement ni J. Batumbakal that these corals were being used by China, kung magsalita sila with certitude as materials for decorations, ornaments, and jewelry, mga kabansa. Ito ang sinasabi nitong so-called maritime law expert Batumbakal. Ngayon, bago ko papilala sa inyo si Batumbakal, tandaan ho natin itong maigsing portion lang ng UNTV coverage kay Admiral Carlos. Let's play the video, please.
Ayon sa opisyal, wala na niyang natira sa corals ng Razul Reef. Ngunit nakikipag-ugnayan na sila sa mga eksperto upang matiyak.
Tiyak? Nag-release na sila nitong napakalaking bombang balita. Wala pa they don't even know what they're talking about. But on day 3, eto ho ba kabansa, bongga-bongga. Ang Coast Guard nagkumpirma na ang coral damage ay by a Chinese militia. Okay? Paano nila napatunayan ito? Because they are now confirming the information released by Admiral Carlos regarding the ongoing coral harvesting in the West Philippine Sea. At sinabi ng PCG na sila ay nag-conduct ng isang covert mission from August 9 to September 11. Wala namang detalya kung ano ang kanilang na-find out. Which was undertaken by BRP Sindangan at BRP Cabra. Pero wala naman sinasabi dito, kundi nakumpirma lang nila na may 33 Chinese maritime so-called militia vessels doon. Wala naman sinasabing iba. At yung ginawa ni na Admiral Carlos na underwater survey afterwards, affirm daw. Affirm the findings of their covert mission. Wala namang pinipresent. Alam niyo ba ibig sabihin ng covert mission? Undercover operation. Parang pinalalabas nila rito, nagpadala sila ng mga SEALs dyan at nag-dive and naghanap ng, oh no, the only information they confirmed was na meron dyan 33 militia vessels. So ano itong extensive underwater survey na sinasabi ng Philippine Coast Guard? Tapos, while the PCG's observation may require additional scientific analysis for validation. Walang validation po eh. Sila-sila lang. It is the Westcom, Philippine Navy, being confirmed by the Philippine Coast Guard. So, ang nangyayari dito ay who says, he says, she says, they say, ay depende kung sino nagsasalita. Pero sinasabi nila na nagre-require sila ng further validation. Eh bakit sineserto nyo na? Confirmation na po ito. Confirmation na po ito. Alright? So, i-document natin itong statement ni Commodore Tariela. At mamaya, papakilala ko sa inyo kung sino si Commodore Tariela. Let's play the video.
If you're going to ask me kung meron ba tayong naaktuhan na Chinese maritime militia vessels na pinapatay nila ang coral to whatever activities na ginagawa nila dyan, we don't have any. But in terms of circumstances, that's the only thing we are sure for now. Na nung panahon na tumambay sila dyan, right after that, when we did the underwater survey, ito yung ating nakita.
Ayan. Sinasabi mismo ni Tariela. And then the same day, lumabas po itong Radio Free Asia. Naglabas itong Radio Free Asia na dinestroy na ang corals in Manila's waters. A spokesman blames China's alleged destructive fishing practices, blaming Chinese militia ships. And that they are virtually confirming Philippine military accusing. Ang nag-a-accuse po ngayon ay Philippine military na. Divers have carried out underwater surveys of the seabed. Alam na natin yan. Pero what is confirmed, hindi yung ginawa niyong undercover. Dahil wala pa kayong pinapresent na mga findings during the undercover. Ang pinipresent ninyo sa media ay yung mga denied nung Westcom Philippine Navy. So, Manila's have thoroughly been harvested by the China militia ships. Ayan po mga kabansa. What has become a very dark tunnel has suddenly ended to be a bright, shining So, ano ba yung Radio Free Asia in the first place? Yan po ay isang United States government-funded private non-profit corporation operating a news service. It used to be preceded by the CIA-operated Committee for a Free Asia established by law, by legislation, the U.S. International Broadcasting Act of 1994. So, miski na sabihin nilang private ito, miski sabihin nilang non-profit ito, this is a creation of the U.S. government. It still is a U.S. functionary. Why? Because it's funded and supervised by the U.S. Agency for Global Media, an independent agency of the United States government that was funded by the America Competes Act to the tune of $500 million for this year in 2022 and last year in 2021 for $300 million for media outlets through the U.S. Agency for Global Media, whose mandate is to smear China, to demonize China. And that is their definition of competition, mga kabansa. All right. Having said all that, ay pumunta tayo dito sa mga iba pang mga issue, no? At babalikan natin mamaya kung ano talaga ang nangyayari dyan. But, prior to this, pabongga about coral reefs was the hearing, no, of the Committee on National Defense where Senator Robin Padilla really impressed me. In a formal hearing, Robin Padilla confronted PCG officials asking if it were appropriate for an American Navy plane to be conspicuously present in the West Philippine Sea where the PCG and the Chinese Coast Guard were going head to head. Let us play the first video cut.
Kaya ang pwedeng sumagot kung kasi po nung huli tayo po ay nakapag-deliver ng supply sa ating mga kababayan na sundalo dun sa BRP Sierra Madre. At bagamat nandun pa rin po yung mga dayuhan na paikot-ikot doon, paharang-harang, pero nakita po ang presence ng US Navy, yung kanilang eroplano. Totoo po ba ito? Nandun po ba talaga ang US Navy? Palipad-lipad doon?
Yes, sir. We acknowledge, sir, yung presence ng Poseidon aircraft during the first and the second RORE. I think it's coordinated, sir, sa AFP under the framework ng MDB-SEB yun, sir.
All right. And let's lead on, no? Coordinated with the armed forces of the Philippines. All right? Let's go to the next video cut.
Amid the success of the resupply mission in Ayungin Shoal last Friday, Senator Robin Padilla questioned the presence of the U.S. Navy's P-8 Poseidon. In the Senate Committee on National Defense's hearing, Padilla confronted the Philippine Coast Guard.
Hindi ba po dapat na kayo ang dapat nagpapatrol doon? Para po nyo bang inaamin na hindi nyo kayang pangalagaan ang ating dagat at kailangan natin ng US Navy?
Kinakaya po natin. We are mastering the much needed courage, determination, and patriotism of our Coast Guard personnel in the area.
I have to be very honest about it. It made them more confident, and their morale is also high, knowing the fact that the U.S. government is watching over the sky.
Ayan po mga kabansa, no? Kini-question. Because ang naging usapan po dito, unang-una nagtatalo sila kung ang Coast Guard ay civilian agency. Ayan po ang problema dito sa ating mga usapin, kuminsan masyado nagiging technical at depende kung sino nagsasalita. Mga kabansa, for instance, sinasabi nila na ang ating Coast Guard daw ay civilian because this is under the Department of Transportation. Pero pagdating po sa China ay hindi civilian because it's under an agency of the People's Liberation Army. So ang kanilang sinasuggest ay depende kung nasaan. Hindi po yun Ang Coast Guard po, depende kung anong ginagawa niya, kung anong function niya. No? Depende po. Because that's why Coast Guard vessels are considered white ships. They are law enforcement. And in the words of Robin Padilla himself, mga pulis lang yan ang karagatan. As distinguished from gray ships, yung white ships ng Coast Guard, with gray ships which are of the military. Ngayon nagkaroon ng question dito dahil may allegate, no? Na US Navy Poseidon spy plane. So, ito naman si Francis Tolentino afterwards was saying that the US Navy Poseidon spy plane was not a military. Hindi ko po maintindihan kung saan humuhugot ng kapal ng mukha itong si Tolentino. Narinig mo ba sinabi mo? Yung Coast Guard ng China, sinasabi mo, hindi civilian. Pero itong military aircraft ng US Navy, sinasabi mo, hindi naman military. Are you kidding me? Are you senators serious about this? Why is this important? Because in the perception of Robin Padilla, nagkaroon po ng escalation, no? Sa civilian law enforcement and coordination to deliver to deliver the supply of humanitarian needs ng ating mga marino doon sa Ayungin Shoal, sa BRP Sierra Madre, ay dahil nagkakagirian mo, ay ine-elevate na nila, ine-involve na nila ang Philippine Navy, katulong ng Coast Guard, at ang Philippine Navy, being part of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, ay humihingi na ng katulong sa US military. Ito po, ang isang debate between itong sinabi natin kaninang si Jay Batumbakal na ginagawa daw mga alahas, itong mga rips na ito, ay mayroon po tayong 3 video dito. Simulan natin sa number 1 video cut.
Ang sinasabi ko lang po dito, sa matagal na panahon, 6 na taon po tayo na wala namang ganitong kalaking escalation. Nandito na po, may third party na. Ito po ba, isang ayon pa kayo, Professor, na may third party na rito? 6 na taon na wala naman tayo. Cat and mouse lang naman tayo dyan. Ngayon, meron ng, sinasabi niyo po ba na pagka ito ay nag-escalate, papayag kayo na tayo'y mapunta sa escalation nito?
Well, una po, no, yung sinasabi po nating escalation, in the first place po, nauna pong mag-escalate ang China dyan nung tinayo po nila yung 3 military bases dyan sa loob ng Spratlys, Mischief Reef, Scarborough Shoal, at Fiery Cross Reef. Mayroon pong 2 reconnaissance aircraft ang China na nakagaya nung sa US na naka-station po sa Fiery Cross kung hindi ako nagkakamali, at manamataan na rin sila dun sa ibang bases nila. Mayroon pong 2 fast attack missile boats na naka-station sa Mischief Reef. Yan po yung pinakamalapit sa atin na umaaligid din dyan. At nung nga pong 2021, nabalita nga po na hinabol pa yung isang civilian na vessel natin na lula ng isang ABS-CBN crew. Yung pong PLA Navy, lagi po silang mayroong at least 2 o 3 warships na nakastasyon sa bawat isa dun sa 3 military bases nila dyan. Fiery Cross, Mischief Reef, at Subi Reef. Hindi na po yun nagbabago. So, kumbaga, dihado na talaga tayo dahil dinagdagan na po ng China yon even before dumating po itong mga Amerikano nitong taon na ito.
Alright. Unang-una, dinideny ni Professor Jay Batumbakal na mayroong escalation. Pangalawa, inaakusahan niya ang China of starting the escalation in 2014. Hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit itong mga so-called experts na ito ay napakagaling sa kasinungalingan, kabalintunan at kalukuhan. Alam naman natin, no, na nagsimula ang iringan dyan sa South China Sea, hindi 2014, kundi 2011 pa lamang nung magkaroon ng Scarborough, 2011-2012. Kaya nagkaroon ng Scarborough standoff dyan, kung saan gumamit kayo, military, ng BRP Gregorio del Pilar para mang-aresto ng mga 8 fishing boats ng China. Ayan yung sinasabi nitong, hindi naman to abogado hindi naman historian to, gumagamit lang ng common sense ito si Robin Padilla. BRP, Gregorio del Pilar, ano yan? Military ship yan, Philippine Navy yan. Ano yung inaresto niya? Hindi ba alam ng ating Navy na when you board a ship that carries the flag of another nation, you are virtually declaring war on that flag? Why? Because in-escalate mo. Dapat hindi ka nag-aresto. Tumawag ka ng white ship dahil great ship ka. Tumawag ka ng white ship at yung white ship, which is the civilian law enforcement, ang mag-aaresto at magpaproseso ng mga taong yan. Oh. Kayong mga tao dyan, and even in the years following, na nakapatay pa ang ating Philippine Coast Guard dahil minasinggan nila yung mga Taiwanese fishermen. Mukhang hindi nyo naiintindihan kung anong ginagawa ninyo. Tayo nagsimula niyan. Tayo rin na nag-escalate. Dahil sa kagunggungan ng ating Pangulo noon na si Noynoy Aquino, pinawithdraw niya kay Secretary, sa kanya Secretary of Foreign Affairs, no, na si Albert de Rosario, yung ating mga naval assets. So, kabalintunan mga kabansa, magsasabi sa inyo that we lost the Scarborough Shoals because China grabbed it from us. Hindi po totoo yan. Nag-withdraw po tayo and China had to take over because those are critical parts of the South China Sea that cannot be left without patrol enforcement. At hindi na tayo nakabalik tuloy. Nung hindi na tayo nakabalik, anong ginawa natin? Paano natin in-escalate? Dinala natin into arbitration. At yung arbitration na yan is only on the basis of one treaty. Pero kung magsalita tayo, akala natin, ay nakatumama na tayo sa Sipistik, sa Suhipistiks. Victory! Anong victory makukuha mo dyan? Unang-una, wala kang enforcement. Pangalawa, isang tratado lamang yan of the whole system of international law. Let us play the second tape.
Hindi natin kaya na tayo umasa sa Amerikano. Dito sa usapin nito, kaya sabihin natin na ang kanilang Coast Guard ay hindi civilian at yung atin ay civilian, ang tanong na malaki dyan, handa ba tayong mga Pilipino dito? At ito ba, hindi ito parang wagdatog lang? Na dito natin dinadala yung gulo? Ang gulo ng China at ng Amerikano sa Taiwan Bakit napunta na dito sa atin? 6 na taon, wala naman tayong pakialam sa gulo ng Taiwan. Pero eto tayo ngayon, nilalagay natin yung sarili natin, Prof. Hindi po kaya tayo'y nawawagdadog lang.
Ayan ang tanong. Tanong ng isang bad boy. You know, I am beginning to respect this actor, because of the use of his common sense. At mukhang nasa tama ang puso nito. He's trying to search where our national interest is. He's trying to search kung saan papunta itong mga kaguluhan na ito at saan tayo dadalhin ito. Bukod pa doon sa kini-question niya ang mishandling na ito. And then he asks the crucial question. Let us play video cut number 3.
Ibig niyo pong sabihin, Professor, pumapayag kayo na may Amerikano dyan?
Pumapayag po ako dahil sila po ay ating treaty ally.
Treaty ally in defense.
Po, ang China po, hindi po nagre-responde kung hindi po kung sa tingin lang.
Treaty ally po natin sila in defense. Hindi ba po? Yun po ang treaty natin. Depensa.
Defense nga po.
Oh,
Kaya nga po, tinatawagan sila para pag may operation tayo na kung mangyayari, meron din tayong defense.
Opo, malinaw po yun, di ba? Yung ating Mutual Defense Treaty. Opo. Hindi dapat tayo nagpo-provoke.
Opo. At so far naman po, wala tayong ginagawa na provocative. Nire-resupply natin.
Kinaya nga po natin ng 6 na taon na walang kano 6 years, walang kano. Kaya natin. Bakit tayo may kano ngayon?
Ayan mga kabansa ang question. Isang profesor ng UP nabisto For a simple Coast Guard resupply mission to Ayungin Shoal, he is now invoking the Mutual Defense Treaty. Obviously, hindi niya nabasa ang Mutual Defense Treaty because the Mutual Defense Treaty only acts in case of an armed attack on any Philippine municipal territory. Hindi pa nga kasama dyan ang pinag-uusapan nating South China Sea. Ayaw ngang i-honor yan ng mga Amerikano eh. Kasi nakalagay ito sa treaty, municipal. Ibig sabihin, sa loob lamang ng 12 nautical miles natin. Or any military plane or asset. Yung pwedeng lumampas kasi miski saan tirahin yun, that's still an extension of our Philippine territory. But here, we're not even talking about Philippine territory. Kaya ligaw na ligaw itong mga expert na ito. Ligaw na ligaw itong mga Coast Guard na ito. Ligaw na ligaw itong mga armed forces na ito. My God, Undersecretary Ignacio, hindi na kita binila dito. Pero mga sagot mo, palpak. At nangangahulugan lamang hindi nyo naiintindihan. You're even referring to the exclusive economic zone. The exclusive economic zone does not give us sovereign territory. We don't own our EEZ. We only have the sovereign right. Iba ho yung sovereignty sa sovereign right to explore and exploit resources underwater pa. We cannot even claim that the surface is ours because it's international waters. We cannot even claim the top of the EEZ is the aerospace is our flight area because it's not our sovereign territory. And in fact, the very treaty that you are using to justify your misconception of this whole thing can even lay down underground subterranean cables for purposes of communication and to serve humanity, all nations. So, paano magiging inyo yan? Ang hirap kasi sa inyo, nilaso ninyo inyong sarili na una, what is ours is ours. That is not yours. You can only exercise the sovereign right to exploit the fish, the marine resources under, and even under the seabed. Naririnig nyo ba ako? Isolin nyo na uniform nyo. Hindi nyo naiintindihan ang mga sinasabi nyo. O ngayon, kalkalin natin kung sino ito si Batong Bakal. Alright, sino ba si Batong Bakal? Ito po ay taga-UP Institute of Maritime Affairs and Law of the Sea. Ano po yan? Yan po ay adjunct ng Strat-based Albert de Rosario Institute na funded ng Washington, D.C.-based Center for Strategic and International Studies, the main sponsor for American perspectives in the South China Sea disputes. Huling-huli ka! Ni Robin Padilla. Sabi, ibig mo masabi, pumapayag ka na may mga US planes dyan? Sabi mo, oo. Yari ka, Jay Batong Bakal. Dahil hindi ka naman pwede magsabi ng hindi. Bakit? Sino ba kayo sa UP Institute na yan? Hindi ba kayo counterpart agent lamang ng Asian Maritime Transparency Institute? At ano ang AMTI? Sinong director niyan? Si Greg Paulin, CSIS. Assistant Director, Harrison Pretat, CSIS. Jared Topola, Program Manager, CSIS. At ito napakahabang listahan ng advisory group nyo, bawat isa sa kanila, Center for Strategic and International Studies. And if I may just say so, ito po yung neo-conservative group ni George Shultz at ni Paul Wolfowitz na nagpatanggal sa former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Akala nyo ba EDSA nagtanggal kay Marcos? May kakayahan ba EDSA na exile siya sa Hawaii? Na siya ay damputin sa Malacanang, dalhin sa Clark at dalhin sa Hawaii? Ha? Wag niyo akong lokohin dyan. I was part of the EDSA revolution. I was also part of the Cory administration because of the unity. And we were under the Doyle Laurel faction. Manuel Pelaez and I were appointed by Cory Aquino to serve. And I served for 7 years dyan sa Washington, D.C. Philippine Embassy at sa UN mission natin sa New York. Kaya alam ko itong mga dynamics na ito. Alam ko yung mga personalities dyan sa Washington, D.C. Sus Maria Josep. Ha? Alright. Ang presensya ba ng Amerikano ay magdudulot ng solusyon o problema natin sa China o kapahamakan? Naniniwala ba kayo na tutulungan tayo ng ganong nanood lang sila sa atin? Nung mag-take over sa Scarborough Shoal, ang mga Chino, at magtayo sila ng isla sa South China Sea? Bakit hindi sila pwede magtayo ng isla sa South China Sea? Kung nagtayo tayo sa Pag-asa. At gusto nyo magtayo sa Ayungin Shoal. At tayo pwede, sila hindi. Samantalang ang claim nila sa South China Sea is based on sovereignty because of historic rights. Dahil yung pong teritoryo ngayon napalalunan nila noong World War II at ibinalik sa kanila ng Japan lahat ng ninakaw sa kanilang teritoryo ng bansang Hapon. Sa kautusan ni Franklin Delano Roosevelt, ni Winston Churchill, sa kanilang agreement with Chiang Kai-shek, confirmed sa Cairo Declaration of 1943, confirmed by the Potsdam Declaration of 1945, further confirmed and renounced by Japan. Yung mga territories niya in the 1951 San Francisco Treaty and finally turned over to China, to the Republic of China in 1952 in the Treaty of Taipei. Those are historic rights. Nakalimutan nyo na? Just because pinograma kayo ng mga Amerikano na ang batas, ang kaisa-isang international law na binabanggit nyo ay ang UNCLOS at ang kaisa-isang enforcement ay ang PCA na hindi naman nag-participate ang China. Defective arbitration. Bakit iniwan nila ang Iraq at Afghanistan at hanggang ngayon ay wala silang tropang lumulusob sa Ukraine? Bakit gera lang ang dala nila at kulelat sila sa China sa pagtulong sa ating ekonomiya? Nanginginig na kayo. $83 million lang ang winagayway sa military. Nagpalit na kayo ng foreign policy, Mr. President. Samantalang si Rodrigo Duterte, 25 billion plus at hanggang ngayon, walang tigil ang pag-construct ng mga kondominyo. Paano palagay ninyong kapital ang kumikilos yan? American capital? Japanese capital? South Korean capital? Hello! Yan po ay predominantly Chinese capital. Sino ba ang malapit sa katotohanan? Si Robin ba o si Tariela? I-play natin yung unang 37 to 48 na video cut.
I have to be very honest about it. It made them more confident, and their morale is also high, knowing the fact that the U.S. government is watching over the sky.
Ayan. Ha? Lumalakas lang ang loob daw ng military natin at Philippine Coast Guard pagka may mga Amerikanong nakapali-paligid dyan. Ha? At ito, ang taong pinagkakatiwalaan nyo ng mga statements na gagaling sa Coast Guard. Let us play video cut number 2. Contradicts himself. Nakaharap sa inyo, ha? Sa kapal ng mukha, harap-harapan, ginagago kayo. And this is my proof.
If you're going to ask me kung meron ba tayong naaktuhan na Chinese maritime militia vessels na pinapatay nila ang coral to whatever activities na ginagawa nila dyan, we don't have any. But in terms of circumstances, that's the only thing we are sure for now. Na nung panahon na tumambay sila dyan, right after that, when we did the underwater survey, ito yung ating nakita.
Oh my God, kilala nyo ba ito si Jay Tariela? Well, ito ang proof kung sino si Jay Tariela. Noong pong January 5, 2004, siya po ay sinipa sa Philippine Military Academy. Ayan po, no? Prima facie evidence that the 8 cadets cheated in their Management Information Science class. Ayan mga kabansa. Court records show that last September 30, the cadets learned that their Management Information Science professor, Jovelyn Hermano, accused them of violating the honor code by allegedly cheating in her class. Alright, so tumakbo kayo sa korte. Kaninong pangalan yung pulang-pula dyan? Jay Tariela. Hindi ko na babanggitin yung iba. No? Oh, nakakuha nga kayo ng TRO. Bakit hindi nyo pinarso ang kaso? Oh, dahil natanggal kayo. For cheating! My goodness! Ang isang tao na nahuli sa cheating, ewan ko kung ngayon, tayo naman dinadaya. Circumstantial daw. Nahuli ba rin sa akto? Wala. Anong ebidensya mo? Circumstantial. Tapos pagdating sa US, nagkakaroon ka ng lakas ng loob, Tariela. Compliments. Bakit? Dahil you are a deep penetration agent. You are an insertion of the American propaganda machine. By your own admission. Ito yung post mo sa FB mo. Incredibly grateful to the East-West Center in Washington. The opportunity to pursue my U.S.-Philippine Alliance Fellowship. Yan po mga kabansa, may bago na naman silang organisasyon. Yung dati, US Pinoys for Good Governance. Ngayon naman, itong US-Philippine Alliance Fellowship. A remarkable chance for me to connect. Ito na. With key government officials and policy experts in Washington. To expose China's aggressive action and gray zone tactics in the West Philippine Sea. This is an open admission of your secret. Hindi na secret, inadmit mo na eh. And proof that you are a deep penetration agent inserted into the Coast Guard. At balita ko, si Antonio Carpio daw ang padrino mo dyan. Para kay Admiral Abu. Anyway, mag-retire na si Abu, kaya huwag na natin balatan si Abu, mga kabansa, dahil naghahanap na si Presidente Marcos ng kapalit dyan sa Warfleet na PCG, commandant na yan. Inadmito to connect with key government officials. For what mission? To expose China's aggressive actions and gray zone tactics in the West Philippine Sea. My God! Dan, 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 dan. My God! In a few seconds, this will disintegrate. Sino ka? Mission possible ka ba? Tama si Robin Hood! Mga kabansa. Nagre-resupply lang tayo sa mga tauhan natin sa isla ng South China Sea. Bakit tayo sasaw-saw ng gera ng Amerikano, sa mga Chino sa Taiwan. Bakit nyo dadalhin doon? At ako'y labis na ng hina dahil doon sa hearing, umabol pa itong, napakalaking, sus Maria Joseph. Hindi ko maintindihan kung ano i-describe ko dito kay Mig Subiri. It's really a disappointment. Inaamin naman yan na 3 days lang daw, ubos na ang ating military assets. And we will have to go to guerrilla war daw. Anong guerrilla war pinagsasabi mo dyan? There will not be a single Chinese trooper that will land in the Philippines. They have never done that since the beginning of time. They have never occupied us. But if we are doing what we're doing now, housing these bases, American bases, dahil po, pag ang Philippine base ay dineklara ng EDCA base, no? Huwag kayong maliligaw. American base na ho yan. Dahil wala hong transparency dyan kung anong nilalagay nilang mga equipment dyan. And what for? I have already discussed this in the past, for pre-positioning against China. Pag tayo po ay nag-run ng offensive or any U.S. assets emanates from any of these bases, China, under the Nuremberg Principle, is justified to do preemptive action, which includes the total devastation of that place where the threat emanated. Total destruction. Why? Anong guerrilla tactic pinag-iisip nyo? Do you think any American boots on the ground will really base here in the Philippines? Hello? Kaya nga sila, naguhulugan na yung mga tao sa aeroplano galing Afghanistan. Nagmamadali pa silang lumayas doon. Hindi na ho ito tolerate ng American taxpayer dahil bistado na ho ng American taxpayer that the U.S. government spent up to 8 trillion, 7 to 8 trillion US dollars in the past 24 years just for gera. At nung dumalaw si Subiri, ito, pakita natin ito. Kung sino itong ka-handshake niya. Si Victoria Nuland po ang author at ugat ng lahat ng kaguluhan sa Ukraine. Matalik na kaibigan na ngayon ni Mitch Subiri, magtatayo daw ng factory ng mga armas dito sa Pilipinas. Ewan ko kung anong binulong niya kay Mix. Pero, bilib na bilib ho sa Amerikano itong si Mix. Ang tanong ko sa iyo, Mix, hanggang saan makakarating yung mga kaguluhan dyan sa West Philippine Sea na tinatawag mo? At dyan sa South China Sea. Walang katapusan yan. It will never end. Because we cannot do anything in the South China Sea. Let's face it. Let us admit it. Let us not be in denial of the truth. That we cannot do anything without the consent of China. And that goes for the Americans too. The Americans cannot afford. Puro propaganda war lang yan. Puro lawfare lang yan. And, of course, they use, like Ukraine, proxy power. Papayag ba tayo mga Pilipino to be in the middle of this imbroglio? Dahil gusto mo lang magtayo ng mga factory ng armas dito sa Pilipinas? Anong epekto niyan sa ating economy? Meron na bang sinabi ang mga Amerikano ditong gagawin na tumagal? Meron ba? May alam ka ba? Ngayon lang. Anong tulong ng binibigay sa atin economically lang ang matanong? Ang baba ng value added natin. Sila pa rin siguro ang ating number 1 trading partner, pero diluted ang ating value added dyan. Kasi yung mga ginagamit natin ng mga base materials for the re-export to the US is also imported. Samantalang yung pinadadala natin sa China, pag dinagdag mo ang China at saka Hong Kong, Number 1 na ho ang mga kapatid natin at mga kaibigan natin, mga Chino. So tama si Robin Hood. His heart is in the right place. And he is nationalistic. Umaangal kayo against China. Pero paali-aligid yan. Ang Poseidon ninyo. Tapos nung nabisto kayo, hindi pa military pa. Ano sa kayo muhugot ng kasinungalingan? At kakapal na mukha ninyo. Ang tatapag nyo. Kaharapal naman kayo sa camera. Well, anyway, I would like to end my discourse with that today. Ano tayo ng mga question mula sa madlang people. Alright? Hello Kaado, mabuhay, Mel B. Okay. Argules Joselito, Kaado, maraming nasa gobyerno ngayon, senador, congressman, pati yung nasa Malacanang Pilipino, brain colonized American, hindi po Filipino people. Kaado, may post sa YouTube na traidor si Senator Robin. Of course, yun nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo eh. Mga trolls. Ang dami ho. Kung gusto nyo, sasabit ko sa inyo listahan. Ang dami. Mga bagong websites, mga bagong Facebook pages, mga kung ano-anong mga propaganda. May mga ano pa eh. Ayan si Christian Isguera, nandyan. Si Arman Nocog, nandyan na rin. Espanyol pa. Arman, how are you? Magbasa ka muna ng marami bago ka tumira. San Lorenzo Ruiz, Sacramento TV. I'm also GTNR Kaprof. Ado, stay safe. And God bless us all watching from California, USA. Reynaldo Lazaro, Chinese coral biologists are replanting coral reefs in the South China Sea led by Wang Yi. With the latest technology, do not vote these traitors. Huwag nyo raw iboto si Subiri. Huwag nyo raw iboto si Tolentino. Vote straight, Duterte Ticket Party. Paano kung pumasok na naman yung mga yan sa partido? Enrico Abehar, blessed afternoon sa lahat, lalo na kay Maestro Freddy Oredina, present. Lauren Alejandrino Pascual, good evening po, Maestro, at sa mga kabansa. Hello to you, sir, watching from Tokyo. Ayan. Roger Balita, mga opisyal ng gobyerno lutang, di alam ang sinasabi, gray ship versus white ship. Ivan Reese pa rin, Kiloy, greetings from United Kingdom. Eloy Bankar, maraming nagagalit kay Robin, tuta daw ng China, pero may sense naman talaga yung sinasabi niya. Si Robin, papatuta sa dayuhan. Excuse me? The reason why he's anti-China is because of his Muslim background. Alam niyo ba kung ilan ang pinatay dito sa ating bansa, sa Budaho, at sa Budbagsak, sa Sulu, at diyan sa Balangginga, sa Samar? Ano ba yung mga magbasa kayo ng history? Huwag kayong padahos-dahos. And anyway, kung kayo pupunta sa US, the dollarization is on the way. Baka medyo last trip na kayo dyan. Osman Mohammed Sin, for the sake of US. Food tech buddies, just like US used the issue of communism to oust and kill Iran President Mossadegh. In reality, they want the oil of Iran. I don't believe anything that USA says. And that is also what Sas Rogando Sasot says. They're not here because they love us. The 16 countries who are voting for this mga dilawan na arbitral ruling, just because of 16 countries, including the US, Australia, Japan, South Korea, and the entire European Union, sinasabi nyo, mayroon ng international community acceptance. Hello! 300 nasyon ho ang hindi pumansin dyan sa PCA ruling na yan. 16 lamang umareglo. Ayos na. Malayo pa ho. 194 yata ang member ng UN. 16 pa lang yan, nakakaalam nyo. Huwag kayong masyadong eksaherado eh. And anyway, before I leave, my God, please support naman your Maestro. Dito po, you can buy 1, 2, or 3. Kung anong gusto nyong bundle, I will tell you when you text me at 0917-336-4366. A problem for every solution, no vaccine for a virus called racism, and the power of poverty. And I have a new book coming up, maybe December, no? And you will love that, and I hope that book will end all debates about the South China Sea. For the meantime, thank you, Robin Padilla, for standing up to these idiots. Sos Mariosep, your nationalism impresses me. Kung gusto mo ng aming take it or leave it, kung gusto mo ng aming mga ideya, we can talk. And sabi nila, mag-schooling ka pa daw kung ano nung insultong binibigay sa'yo. Bakit ho, mga kabansa? Tama si Robin dito. Eksabinin ninyo ang iyong sariling puso kung lalapit man sa puso ni Robin Padilla. At Robin, I am one with you. Sabi mo nga, sa taas lamang at salamu alaikum. Inshallah. Dahil yun ang seat of wisdom. Yun ang seat of the truth. Thank you. Good evening. And more power to all of you. Continue listening to us. Be educated so that in turn you can educate other people. Maraming salamat po.
It's coming in, you're gonna wanna take a red eye. It's time to go. It's time to go.